What's up, y'all? Hope all is well with y'all today. You guys, today we're going to talk about why the chosen ones get disciplined. And I know it can be hard to accept the discipline from God because we're supposed to be chosen. So why do we have to go through worse things? Why do life have to be much more challenging for us? Why do we seem like we get convicted of everything? Why does it seem like God is harder on us than he is on everybody else? Why does it seem, we be having all of these thoughts, feelings, and emotions about this because we don't really understand how special we are to God. When you're special, when you're chosen, you're special. You're the one, you're one of his favorites. The chosen people are his favorite people out of all the world. He might allow the rest of the world to do things that he's not going to allow you to do because you're his. And just like a father or a mother, a parent, a good parent, they're not going to allow you to do everything that your friends do. Everything that your friends do aren't good for you because it's not even good for them. So that's how God is with us. We're special. We're sacred. We're holy to him. We are his righteous one. So we can't do everything that the world does. And a lot of times we see what the world does and we see what even our family have done, because a lot of times, we are the black sheep, we're the scapegoats, and we don't truly understand the magnitude of what it really means to be chosen. This is a spiritual thing, baby. This has nothing to do with the flesh. This has everything to do with the spirits that are operating within each of these human beings versus what you see on the outside. So you have to understand that he strategically set you apart before you were formed in your mama's womb. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, he already knew you. When you was out in the astral world, before that little spermie came into your daddy nutsack and it came into your mother's egg, he said in Jeremiah 1:5, I knew before you were formed in the womb. So before he even placed you in your mama's womb, he already knew you. He already ordained you. He already chose you. He already called you here with a specific purpose, with a special assignment over your life. And because of that, he deemed you holy. And because he deems you holy, he cannot allow you to do the things that the world does. Yes, we are in the world, but we're not of the world. We don't do the things that the people of the world do. We know that the kingdom of darkness rules this earthly level of this thing. So a lot of people that we see out here, how they maneuver out here, how they act, and we be like, dang, why they get to do that? Why do you get to do this? Especially if you're in your wilderness season, if you're in your isolation season, God has separated you from the world, you're gonna be looking out at the world. It's like that kid that's like in school suspension or in a corner in timeout at school, and you get to see what everybody else doing. You just look like, dang. Or you sitting out from recess like, dang, why can't I do none of this? It looks like they're having fun. It looks like this. It looks like their life is glitz and glam. It looks like, dang, why they get to do that, but I can't do that, And that's because you're different. You're special. You can't do what they do. You can't do what they do. God disciplines his children. He disciplines the ones he loves. Just like a good parent, when we start looking at God as a father, a true father. A lot of us ain't had no daddy, so we don't understand what it's like to have a true father. I told y'all this in one of those other videos. I think it was about the spiritual attack on the Black family unit, and I mentioned to y'all, like, I don't know what it's like to have a father, so I know now what a father is supposed to do because I have God as my father. And like I say, I think it's in Psalm 27:10, many of us are black sheep. So we have felt like our mothers and our fathers have forsaken us. And when your mother and your father forsake you, the Lord will take you in. And when the Lord take you in, you're his. You're his. And when you're his, you're going to get disciplined like you're his. You're going to get blessed like you're his. You're going to have to be obedient to him like you have to be obedient to your earthly parents. It's things he requires of you because you're his child. He loves you. The things that he does to us is not to harm us. Like we know, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plan to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you a hope in the future. So when you're in your season of discipline, you're getting a lot of convictions. You're getting stripped away from a lot of your old behaviors, a lot of toxic ways, a lot of toxic thoughts and mindsets. And you're getting removed from a lot of people in the world. You can't sit there and think that God hates you. You can't sit and think that, dang, why is it me? Why me? Woe is me. You can't see that when he's stripping you of finances, when he's stripping you of relationships, when he's stripping you from your parents, when he's stripping you from everything. You can't think it's because he hates you. Baby, it's actually because he loves you, because he's getting ready to do a new thing in you, something that you've never seen before. Because God's love is so different than a lot of these parents, especially as us as chosen ones, have dealt with, because a lot of us out here face emotional neglect, but God is going to be that one who tends to your emotional needs. He tends to everything you need. He provides that physical protection that you need, that physical provision that you need. He not just only caring about the outside, like these narc parents that a lot of us have grew up to. He's not about, oh, I make sure you fed, clothed, and sheltered. Nah, he cares about nurturing that inner you, the wounds. He wants to fill every void within you so that you're not looking to cope through the drugs, the sex, the money, chasing all the things of this world that is vain and that leads to actually further corruption within you. He doesn't care about that stuff. He wants to cleanse you up. He wants to show you what it's like to be truly loved and what it's like to have a true father. Because a lot of us, like I said, we never had true fathers. We don't know what a father's love is like. And many people, even if they have fathers, their father is so in tune with the world. Their father is so worldly. Their father does not fear the Lord. Their father don't have no relationship with the Lord. So they can't even truly raise their children up in the way of the Lord. They can't raise their children up on the most purest form of love, because they don't even know. They don't even know the most purest form of love, because they're not receiving it from the Father, our Heavenly Father, who has given us all here to this world. So you have to understand that when you're set apart, there's things that you can't do that other people do. You're chosen. You can't do what they do. It's going to harm you. It's going to defile you. And you're holy to him. He wants your body to be holy. He don't want you doing the things that the city girls do, that all the freaknik people do that be at the freaknik functions. He don't want you doing all of that worldly stuff. You can't be in every environment. You're special. You can't give everybody access. You know, it's certain things that he wants to work on you with. So when he's stripping you from everything and when he's sending you into your wilderness season, and we're going to be going a lot into this because that's what he is really leading me to speak about a lot coming up in the upcoming months. As you know, I've been through this season myself, so I know it. And, you know, he wants me to assist the other chosen ones with this, you know. So I want to read from Hebrews chapter 12 about God disciplines his children. And I actually read about this in videos probably a couple months ago, but God is putting it on me to talk about it again, because you need to know that it's love. God's love is the most purest form of love. And when you love your children, you're not letting them do any and everything. You snatching them up. You can't be standing out here in corners like them other people kids do. You mind. You're not about to be getting off in drive-bys and all this because you in these toxic environments. You out here acting like you these other kids. When we love our kids, we don't let them just do whatever they want, because we know that sometimes doing whatever they want is going to harm them. A lot of us have been through situations in our life already, which then led to us being depressed, led to us feeling unloved, unworthy, rejected, because of doing things that we want, going off of our own will versus going off of God's will. So because we have done that, it's led us into situations where we're single mothers, single fathers, where we're, facing all these jealousy issues within friends. We having toxic relationships, toxic friendships. We doing anything to cope with the pain. We drugging our bodies up. We sexing it away. We doing all type of things to cope with these things because of things that we have gotten ourselves into. And God wants to remove you from that, clean you up, heal you. So a part of that healing process, if you really want to heal, you must understand that you're going to get disciplined. Discipline is to help you, is to nurture you, is to bring you up in the way of the Lord and not the way of the world, not the way of some of your wicked family members and everybody that you grew up around. When you realize that the world is lies and corrupt, and even a lot of these families is corrupt, especially in our community, and even just our community, but when you realize that we told nothing but lies, we sold nothing but lies, everything that has been a lie. And when you realize that and you get your relationship with God, you realize that he now wants to reveal truth to you, which is why a lot of us are truth tellers. A lot of us are also empathic. We're highly sensitive people. So we take offense to, all the things that it seems like, dang, life is so much harder for me. This is that. Everybody be mean to me. Everybody don't want me around. Everybody dislike me. No, like, I'm not good enough for everybody. I'm not good enough for nobody. You're not good enough for these people of the world because you're not supposed to be good enough for them. You're not supposed to be seeking validation from them because the only validation you need is from the Lord. That's the only person who truly knows you. Them people don't know you. Them people don't understand you because they aren't you. Y'all have to understand that we are truly different. This is a spiritual thing. And when you understand, that's why I say now it's like, I can see who's chosen. Like, you just know, because we kind of all move the same. That's how this is why God set up this narcissistic family dynamic. And we hate it because they're like, dang, the golden child, and then the scapegoat child, invisible child, black sheep, all of that. And we don't understand, like, dang, why don't they love me like that? This is how God knows who's his. We have a marking. One thing I recently noticed is like a lot of us have a special marking literally on our bodies. It might seem like it's a trauma wound, but a lot of us be having marks on our bodies, like physical marks on our bodies that's just different, that, you don't see normal people with these marks. I told y'all I have my brother, well, that's what my mom said. My brother burnt me. He put a hot fork to my thigh when I was a baby. And I have a permanent mark, like a tiger. It's like a tiger scratched my leg. But, I take it as that's the marking. That's my mark. We have our marks. We have things that's different about us. I don't know if I was talking about this. I remember, I don't think I ever talked about this, but even my baby, like I said, if I was that narcissistic parent, my little daughter, my 2-year-old, she would be the one that would be black sheep and scapegoat because we're different. We're just not like the other kids. And because we're not like the other kids, a lot of our parents can try to rule you out. They try to beat you more. They try to do more things to you because they can't control you because you're a free spirit. It's the spirit that's within you. The lady, when I used to live at this shelter, she had already told me, she was like, that baby, she been here before. She acts like she was 1 year old at the time. She acts like she's like a 55-year-old in this 1-year-old body. And my baby, she is just so free spirit. She wants to do what she wants to do. She is the one that gives me a hard time. And when you are deemed as the rebellious child, the one that gives your parent a hard time, that you will be the one that's scapegoated. When you don't just do anything that they say, when you challenge authority a bit, or when you do, because your spirit, it's the spirit within you that doesn't like to be confined, doesn't like lies and deception and BS. You see from a very early age that certain things is off, and this is what you have to understand. But God strategically, this is how he knows who is his. And even though a lot of us go through a lot of trauma, we go through a lot of things, we're not above everybody in the sense that, we ain't never get into nothing. We ain't got, a toxic past. We don't have a past that, we don't really like to talk about. It's not to say that we don't go through those things, because a lot of times as the black sheep, you get ran out into the streets, you get ran out into looking for love in the wrong places, and you get yourself into situations. And even during those times, God is with you because he knows how he's going to use that for your greater good. That's going to be a part of your testimony when you come out of the world, when you come pick up your cross and follow him. He knows that he's going to use all that for your story so he can get the glory. And that's why when he does that, he's going to discipline you. He's going to give you what you need. He's going to strip you from all of that other stuff. He's going to give you a new path in life. And it's all for his glory. It's all to know who is really his. So you got to understand that with this structure that was set up, it's for a reason. It's how he determines who is the God's children, who is heavenly sent, and who is the demon seeds, who is children of Satan, the father of lies. These narcissists, these liars, habitual liars, pathological liars, the ones who have no empathy versus us who have empathy, because we have empathy because we're highly sensitive people. And this is why we, take things personal Because we, like I said, we be like, dang, why me? My heart is pure. I have good intentions. I just want to help. I just want to save. I just wanted to do this. I just want peace. But it seems like we can't get that. And then we'll start to feel a way about ourselves. And then we'll start to get mad at God because he allowed us to go through all of this. And he does this. And even when we're trying, it seems like it might not be good enough. And, especially when you're in your wilderness season, if you've been led into your wilderness season, like if he's telling you to move to a new state, a new city, he's calling you into isolation, it's because he get ready to do a new thing in you. And though it's going to be hard, that's the season of true discipline. You're going to experience a discipline like you never had before in that season. And we'll be talking about that, coming up. But it's because he loves you. And it's because he wants to bless you. The chosen ones, we are meant to be the head and not the tail, the lender, not the borrower. We're not, lack is not our portion. We're supposed to be eating from the tree of life, the life of abundance. Like he told Adam and Eve, you can eat from every tree of the garden except that one tree, except the tree of knowledge and good and evil. So you had abundance. Prosperity was your portion. You can eat from whatever. Your blessings, you're supposed to be blessed. You're supposed to be wealthy. You have a spiritual inheritance that he's going to send you in your wilderness to give to you so you can start walking in your purpose, start walking in your ministry. And then there's a physical inheritance that comes after that. Once he tests you a little bit, once he see where your heart is, once he see if you about this life for real. He want to see if you really about this life. So he going to discipline you. He going to test you. He going to do all of this stuff because he want to see if you about it for real. He want to know. He know you got it in you. And he want to see. He want to see if you willing to answer that call. He want to see, what you really willing to do. So you got to embrace the discipline, because I'm telling you, baby, I got whole journals about my whole journey. And as I look back at these journal entries, I'm like, every time that I'm complaining, every time that I'm upset, I always say though, but even this spiritual journey has been very rewarding on a spiritual level, but on a physical level, it's been like lack. It's been like, I'm only eating from the tree of knowledge and good and evil. I don't want to eat from the tree of knowledge and good and evil because that tree, it breeds lack into the world. I want to eat from the tree of life. I want my abundance. I want my prosperity. I want the promise that you promised me before you took me on this journey. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be talking about that stuff later. Because God is so beautiful. He really loves us. Like, it might seem like he's hard on you, but I'm telling you, it's for your greater good. So let me go ahead and read this right quick, because y'all know I get it going on and on and on. But so Hebrews chapter 12, verses 4 through 12. So I'm going to read this, and I want y'all to listen, and understand. So it says, and I'm reading from the NIV version for this. So it says, in your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. And have you completely forgotten this word of encouragement that addresses you as a father addresses his son? So this is basically saying, like, he's disciplining you with your sin. He's trying to call you out of certain sins, deadly sins that's actually hurting you. And, we're going to end up, like I said, doing a video about the 7 deadly sins, because I think Paul said it somewhere in this book that I remember seeing, there are certain sins that are worse than others, because there's certain sins that lead to spiritual death and physical death. And those are the ones he wants to really clean you up with. So we're going to be talking about that later. But he says, you have completely forgotten this word of encouragement that addresses you as the father addresses his son. So when God is convicting you of certain habits, certain behaviors, certain things you're doing, when he's convicting you, it's only for your greater good. It's only because he wants to break you free from that sin. He wants to break you free from that bondage that you're in, that is actually causing you to be depressed, have anxiety, feel like you want to, all the things that come with having those mental issues that we be having because of everything that we have to go through, and because of some of the sin that we do. Sin is actually, it corrupts ourselves. It hurts ourselves. All this freak nasty, being out here sleeping around with the world, that ends up hurting you. That's why he says not to do it. He's not saying not to do certain. It's not that he doesn't want us to have fun, but he knows what that fun is going to lead to. That's just like a parent, who got a child who want to go to this party and want to be hanging in the streets and all of this stuff. And the parent is like, no, you can't do that because I know what come with that. I know what come with this lifestyle. I know what it's going to lead you to. Don't be just getting into cars with anybody because I know what that can do. That's how God is with us. He knows what that will lead to. So he don't want you doing that. And then you get into this stuff and then you crying out to him because, oh, God, free me from this. This person hurt me. This person hurt me. I'm having this baby by myself. The father not here because I've been out here just being a freak nasty, doing anything, don't even know these people. And now I'm letting them go raw dog up in me because it was a good time. And I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And because I was caught up in my feelings, I was vulnerable. It was for the moment. It was fun. I was drunk. I was this. Things that we get ourselves into when we are indulging in certain sins, there's repercussions for that. And a lot of times we don't like the repercussions. And then we crying out to God like, why did you let this happen? Why did this? Why did that? But he told us not to do these things. And some of the things he's going to allow you to get into because it's going to be a learning lesson for you. And the greatest wisdom in life comes from your experiences. Some things can be avoided. Some heartbreak can be avoided. Some being these single mothers, some of these issues out here can be avoided if we make better decisions, if we have discernment. And a lot of people don't have discernment is because that is a gift. That is a virtue that is stored up in the tree of life that God has locked up and he won't give it to you because until you really seek him diligently, until you really love him like he loves you, until you decide to put him first and not put the things of this world first, not to be idolizing everything, until you repent for your wicked ways and come back to him and truly want to love him for him, not because you want to love him for the blessings that you see he blessed other people with. Until you do that, you're not going to get some of them keys to the kingdom. If you're struggling with that, like I said, I do have my ebook, 7 Keys to the Kingdom, the blueprint on how to build an intimate relationship with God so that you can understand the 7 keys that's required to unlock that intimacy with God so that you can eat from the tree of life again. It's beautiful eating from the tree of life. It's just so much that God is doing in my life. And it's just like, I know, it's just, I be being a little crybaby. The good things and the bad things, but the good things is like, you really do love me. You really do find me worthy. Like, you really do see me different than I had seen myself. And it's like he had to tell me who I was. Like, a lot of us don't know who we are. And that's why we let people play with us. That's why we be having these conflicting self-images about ourselves because you don't know who you are, boo. You don't know who you are. You're not going to know who you are until you know the Lord, until you know your Heavenly Father so he can reveal those things to you. Like it says in Jeremiah, I think it's Jeremiah 3:33 or 33:3. Come to me. Let me pull it up right quick. Jeremiah 3:33. Like it says in Jeremiah 33 verse 3:3. Call to me and I will answer and show you great and unsearchable things that you do not know. I will show you the things that you don't know because a lot of us, we don't know ourselves, which is why many people out here have identity crisis and trying to be somebody else's personality, especially on this social media stuff. I be like, girl, why you trying to talk like that girl? That's not how you talk. The girl, I ain't even better talk about it, but you can just see, especially like over there on that TikTok, child, like people don't have their own identity. They want to do what they see the girls on Instagram doing, who is fake. It's fake. It's an illusion. You're trying to be a girl who's not even her. She's not even her. When she get off the camera, she got to take off all that makeup. She got to take off that stuff. That ain't what she look like when she wake up. You don't know how many times she had to go lay on the table to look like that. But yet you're desiring things that other people have, and you don't know what really goes into having those things that they have. This is why you don't idolize what you see other people have. You don't even need to envy them. You don't need to be jealous of them because you don't know the real behind it. And a lot of these people out here are fake. They're fake. Flat out fake. But anyways, let's keep going because y'all know I will get the going. Okay. And it's nothing but truth and it's nothing but love because we got to stop. And this is what God wants you to stop doing. Stop comparing yourself to other people because you're not them. You're not them. Comparison is a thief of joy. You're going to miss out on your own blessings. You're going to not see the beauty of your own life because you're comparing your life and your walk with another person's. Even when it comes to your walk with God, your relationship with God, it's not going to look like what everybody else's look like. The way God speaks to you, he's not going to speak to other people like that. The things God convicts you of, he might not convict them of that. You got to walk your own lane. Don't get caught up into being in this box that these religions try to put on you. Baby, it's not that. God treats every child different according to their needs, just like a regular earthly parent does. You treat each child different. A lot of our children get different versions of us because, for one, sometimes we younger having one child, and as we grow up, certain things we, might be more passive on because we older now, we tired, we ain't got time to be yelling all the time, we ain't got time and all this. Sometimes we get older and we're matured and we're healed, so we don't do as much yelling and we don't do this and that we used to do with the younger one, or with the oldest child. It's different things. They experience, each child can grow up in one household with the same parent and get different versions of that parent. And that's how God is. All his children are not made equal per se, but they all have something special about them. I say this all the time with my girls. I love both of them. They're different. They're so different, but I love the both of them. There's something so unique about both of them that just makes it just beautiful. I love my girls. Like, I don't know what I would do without them. And it's just beautiful. Even with my little toddler, that one, I be praying all the time. Okay. But I love her little butt because she makes me laugh. She make me mad sometimes. A lot of times she's a crybaby. But it's all good. I know that God blessed me with this girl, and I know I see a lot of me in her. And it make me wonder sometimes, dang, did I used to act like this? Like, as a child? Is this what, like, because sometimes you be like, what made my own parent not, like, what made them not love me? And then, all the things that just play back into my head about things that was said. And it's like, dang, I tried my best to be a great daughter. I tried my best to, I tried to not bother you. I tried to not be a burden to you, and that still, wasn't enough. And that's why, despite it all, I make sure I still love on my child, both of them, and definitely my little toddler. Like, she's a little bit more challenging, but baby, I was made for this, obviously, because God chose me for her. He chose me for her. So, yeah, but she thinks she runs stuff. She thinks she's the boss. I be like, you're not the boss. Like, what? But let's keep reading it. So it says, my son, do not make light of the Lord's discipline, and do not lose heart when he rebukes you, because the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and he chastens everyone he accepts as his son. If you're his, you're going to get disciplined. When you love somebody, like when you love your daughters and your sons, you're going to discipline them. They can't do what their friends do. And even if you end up, forming a relationship with their friends, and you love them, you love their friends like you love your children, because they over there all the time, and you grow a connection with them too. You're going to be on them just like you be on your own kids. You ain't, no, you're not doing that. No, you're not, because I love you. Like, now you done became my little niece, my little nephew. You done became my son, my daughter too, just because off the strength of your relationship with my child. So, no, I'm not. I'm going to cover you the same way I cover them. I'm not going to let you just be doing anything. Just like I'm going to take care of them. If I buy them something, I'm going to buy you something. I'm not going to let you go. I'm not going to. It's the same. So understand that just as much as the love is the same and the gifts and all that, understand the discipline is also going to be the same, because I love you and I care for you. I want the best for you. I don't want you to be out here just doing anything and getting caught up into anything, because no, we're not having that at all. So it says, so basically that's how the Lord treats us. He loves you. When he loves you, he's not going to have you. He can't allow that. You can't do what demon seed children do. You can't do what they do. You're his. You're special to him. He loves you. He put something very unique within you that's not in them, because you're his. The blessings that he has that surpasses all is for his children, for his heir. You're different. He's calling you to somewhere higher than he has called them, because you're his. Okay, y'all. So you guys, you're different. You're different. So it says, endure hardship as discipline. God is treating you as his children. For what children are not disciplined by their father? If you are not disciplined, and everyone undergoes discipline. Everyone undergoes discipline. And when we begin to humble ourselves and realize that we are all children, I don't care if you still walking this earth as a human, I don't care if you're 100 years old, you are still a child in the eyes of the Lord. You still don't know nothing, and you need the Lord your Father, period. He's going to discipline you until you check out of here. And even when you go up and claim your heavenly position, you become one of the angels, you still gonna undergo discipline. You still gonna have to be obedient. He's still gonna give you orders, just like he gives his angels orders to help guide mankind. Everybody has to be obedient and listen to what the Lord says. Everybody has to go through discipline, go through training. He says, train a child up in the way they should go, and when they old, they will not depart. He's training us up in the way that we should go. Period. So it says, if you are not disciplined and everyone undergoes discipline, then you are not legitimate, not true sons and daughters at all. So if he don't chastise you, if you don't get those convictions, if he don't be on your butt, you ain't his. And that's how you know you free game for the kingdom of darkness. You go over there, you with them. So that's how you differentiate between the two. You're gonna know. You're gonna know. Trust you me. So it says, moreover, we have all had human fathers who disciplined us, and we respected them for it. How much more should we submit to the Father of spirits and live? They disciplined us for a little while as they thought best, but God disciplines us for our good, in order that we may share in his holiness. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. And it does. At the time, even with our kids, they don't like getting disciplined, but it's teaching them something. It's teaching you can't do that. It's teaching you how to be respectful. It's teaching you how to have order. It's really training you up. You can't do that. That is not acceptable. And like it says, we all had human fathers who disciplined us, and we respected them for it. But yet we don't respect God, our heavenly Father, the one who created human beings, period. The one who created the earth, the one who created the sun, the one who created the skies, the one who created the ground that we walk on. How the waters, like the one who pours down rain from the heavens, how we can't respect what he say, how we can't respect what he does, but we can respect our earthly parents who know it's nothing. God be like, This is why he'll cause strife, and he will allow the enemy to create that division, because he gotta get to you. When you're his, one thing I learned, people be saying God not gonna force you. When you're his, and he know you his, and he know at some point in time, because he created your future, he knows, at what point you're gonna wake up, at what point you're gonna get it. When he knows you're his, he's gonna send you through continuous issues, back to back to back. He's going to make you lose everything. He will strip you down to nothing so that you can end up calling on him. He is a jealous God. It says in one of them scriptures, for he is a jealous God. Let me pull that up right quick. He said, my name is jealous. I was just reading this yesterday. It says, for you shall worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. He's jealous. He be like, how dare you idolize people, money, jobs, materialism? How dare you idolize those things? How dare you put those things before me? Baby, I'm the reason everything that you out here looking for, I'm the reason it exists. Like when we did that Job Bible study, and I was reading that, and he was just going in on Job for real. Like, I'm the one who got the power to do everything. I'm the one. I created the earth. I fashioned it. I did this. Not your parents. And any strengths and skills and wisdom that we have in us, who do you think put it in you? The way I just received downloads and all type of stuff, my daughter, baby, I just did another video talking about the downloads that my daughter gave, that God gave my daughter, and that He always gives her. But I ain't posted it yet. I'm not gonna post it until God tells me to, because it's actually, it's revealing some stuff. But I did record it and uploaded it, and I'll release it at the appointed time. Sometimes God had me to record stuff, and then I might not be able to post it for like a whole year, depending on, you know, when He tells me to. And he gives downloads. Some of this stuff that we think that's our knowledge and our wisdom, we ain't learned it. It just came upon you. God gives talents. God gives gifts. He puts that in us. He has done that. So we should honor Him and respect Him for that, because He is a jealous God. And when He see you putting everything before Him, He just be sitting like, dang, y'all won't even talk to me today. You won't even pray to me. You won't talk to me. You pick up the phone calling this person, that person. You go to this person and that person for your problems. You looking for this person and that person to give you some money. You looking for this person and that person to help you. You doing all of this, like, come to me. I got all that for you. What? Abundance and prosperity is my name too. I hold all of that. Everything you think you, that's why we run ourselves into the pits, into depression, into anxiety, because we be looking for so much from the outside versus going to the Father. You know, and like it said here, you know, how much more it says, moreover, we have all had human fathers who disciplined us and we respected them for it. How much more should we submit to the Father of spirits and live? The Father of spirits. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. You're a soul. You're a spirit. You're a soul within that body. God nurtures the soul. What's that verse? Let me find that one. It just popped. God just dropped it into my head. It was something Jesus said. Here we go. Look, come on, God. Look at God. I'm like, what is it? I just, you know, because sometimes I remember pieces of it, but not the whole thing. So I just type it in and then it pop up. But it says, do not be afraid of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. Rather, be afraid of the one who can destroy both soul and body in hell. What you fearing man when you need to fear the Lord, who will destroy your whole nation at once. He will destroy your whole nation at once, like He did them in Egypt during the Passover. Like, I'm telling y'all, it's so much revelation that God been giving me. We're actually approaching this modern day Passover, when really the Passover is supposed to be this week. But that's a whole nother thing for another day. Like, child, these people, we gonna get it. We gonna get into it eventually. Like, I already been talking about a lot of this stuff, but like during the Passover. But like during the Passover, He will take out the whole nation at once. Like, what are you saying? And only spare the ones that He knows is His. Just like He did them. He passed over all His people. The Israelites, He passed over their houses. But every other house that had Egyptian kids in it, that was families of the Egyptians, them firstborn sons of the Egyptians, all of them got it. They were gone in the blink of an eye. Just like He did them in the Red Sea. When they parted the Red Sea, and He let His people, the chosen race, He let them go through. And when the other people that's not His people try to come through, you're done. You're drowned. You get caught up in it. Because you're not them. You don't get the same luxury of being able to pass through this. You don't get the same luxury as my people. You don't get that. And that's what we got to understand. We get a different luxury that they don't get. We don't understand it yet, because it's like, we hate turmoil. We hate strife. We hate struggle. We hate dealing with hardships. Like it says here, endure hardship as discipline. Endure the hardship. Endure the hardship. Let me go read that other one for y'all. So it says, not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. So you can't be mad at hardships. Hardships give you experience. That's what the King James Version say. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations, also knowing that tribulations worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given to us. It does. Your hard times, your struggles, your seasons of tribulation and strife, it produces patience. Whew. I'm telling you, that's the one heavenly virtue. And patience is a virtue. It's a virtue. This is the one that God has really been teaching me during this wilderness season. The tribulations, the going without, the being in lack, all of that, it has trained me up. It has taught me patience. It has given me experience. It has increased my faith in the Lord. Not the faith in myself, not going off of my own will, but really going off of God's will. It really has truly ignited something so different in me. And it's a beautiful feeling, but a lot of people won't get the feeling until you truly surrender to your Heavenly Father. Let Him lead your life. Let Him love on you for real. Receive His love. He wants to pour it all onto you. He wants to fill up all those empty spaces, all those empty voids within you. He wants to do it. He has an unfailing love. He might get upset with you, but it's only because you're being disobedient to Him. And he really want what's best for us. You're the chosen one. He want what's best for you. But you resistant. You being defiant. It's like, dang, I can't even get you to where I really want you to be with. Like, and you actually be praying to me about these things that I already got stored up in the heavens for you. But I can't even release the floodgates of heaven on your life because you won't be obedient. Look at the Israelites. That's why I said we're gonna be really talking about this stuff. That you're blessed. You don't even know you're blessed, and because you don't know what is ahead. You don't know that I'm about to take you to a land flowing of milk and honey. I'm about to give you your inheritance. You have true wealth stored up, but you can't even get it because you won't be obedient. You won't be obedient. You want to go off of your own understanding and not my understanding, not knowing that the two are not synonymous. It's not the same. Your understanding and God's understanding is not the same, boo. Things that doesn't make sense to us makes all of the sense to God. But He just does it because He wants you to trust in Him, not trust in what you think you know, because truly we know nothing. So let's finish reading this. So it says, they disciplined us for a little while as they thought best, but God disciplines us for our good. Our parents think they know best. And that's why a lot of times you got to be careful what you're telling them, because they think they know what's best. But a lot of them haven't even learned their lessons. They are not even living in God's will. And when you're a chosen one and God is calling you on this journey, you cannot listen to these people of the world. You cannot walk in the counsel of the ungodly, and nor stand in the way of the sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. You got to follow God. You got to listen to God, because many people of this world has never lived God's will out for their lives. They're living in their own will, which is why they slave away. They're modern day slaves. That's not your portion as the chosen one. You're not here to be a modern day slave. These modern day slaves, all the wealth and stuff that they storing up and all the hard work and toiling that they doing, they don't even realize they're not even going to be able to truly reap all that they doing. They building things for you. The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. They will build houses, but we're not living them. Baby, I got so much revelation that I've been getting over these past couple of days, honey. The word it be hitting like, it speak right at you. And it is true. They be working so hard. You're not even going to be able to reap the harvest off of all of that hard work you're doing. You're slaving your way. You're really killing yourself. You're hurting yourself working so hard. When you in the kingdom, when you a chosen one and you really in your assignment and you really you've surrendered to the Lord and you let Him lead your life because you're living in His will, not your own. Baby, it's the soft life. It's the soft life. You're going to go through things, but that's only training you up. It's only when you're in your wilderness season, when you're in boot camp, when He's preparing you to take over your promised land. That land flowing of milk and honey, the land of peace, the land of overflow. where he's going to allow your cup to run it over. That's the only thing that is building you up for. So that's why you must endure. You must endure hardship as it is discipline. And it's getting ready to produce great things within you. Like we just read with Romans, it produces perseverance. It increases your character. It strips you of your character flaws. We're never going to be perfect, of course. But as long as we stay planted, like the word says, Psalms 1, as long as you stay planted like a tree by the rivers of the water, your leaves shall not wither. You will bring forth fruit in your season, and all that you do shall prosper. Because this is the law of the Lord. This is what he promised you. He don't break promises. You delay your promises coming to you by disobedience, which is sin. But it produces great things in us when we have to go through these. If we start looking at things from a positive perspective versus negative, thinking that, it's bad that I go through this and go through this. Why this? I mean, start embracing it. Start embracing it. I know it's easier said than done, but when you start really changing your mind and your perspective and finding good in all things, even when you in the lion's den, when you find something beautiful, when you have gratitude, I've been really being really consistent with writing in my gratitude journal. And like I said, y'all, I'll have these available soon. Super cute. We always look. Ooh, look how this opened it. What did that say? All these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. If you obey the Lord your God, there is blessings for you. Blessings for obedience and curses for disobedience. But I've been ever since I've been gratitude, and since consistently every day I make this a part of my thing to do. This and my scripting, doing my affirmations. Ever since I've been doing it since when I started this March 24th, it's been like a shift in my spirit. Things are like picking up. It's just been magnificent. This is why you want to practice. You want to cultivate the attitude of gratitude, because that opens up doors for you. It allows God to see that you're grateful for the small things so he can give you bigger. He see you steward the small things so he can trust you with bigger. He can trust you with that. He paying attention to how you maneuver in your wilderness, how you maneuver in your lack seasons, how you maneuver in challenging situations. He's seeing it's a test, baby. It's a test. Pass the test. Pass the test. But your hardship is going to give you discipline. It's going to produce that relentlessness in you. It's going to push you to heights that you never knew you can climb. It's going to really show you who you are, whose child you really are, what you really made of. That's what it's going to show you. And like it says here, so they discipline us for a little while as they thought best, but God disciplines us for our good. It's for your good. Like we already said, it's not to harm you. It's to prosper you, to give you a hope in the future, to give you your blessings. It says, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Lord, do we know? I done slid down the wall crying, mad, sad, upset so many times. But the one thing I didn't do is give up, because I know how far God has brought me. So it's like if I pay attention to all the other things he's done, and this is why I tell y'all, keep track. Keep your God box. Keep track of all the things, even the smallest things. The smallest things that he does for you. If he came through for that, what makes you think he's not going to come through for that big thing? But there's things you have to do first. There's things he has to teach you first. Because if he bless you with that thing before you're ready for it, you're going to fumble the blessing. Just like people be praying for all of this money, you got a poverty mindset still. You're not even ready for that kind of money. You can't even save $100. You have no savings. You have no discipline with your money. You think you got to spend every dollar that comes to you. It ain't saying be a hoarder and all of that and live in a lack mentality where it's like, oh, you got to store up all your money, because money is a tool. It's a energy. It must circulate. All money in this world circulate. But if you don't train your mind on how to handle certain things, you praying for love, but you don't have no patience. You ready to flip off at the blink of an eye as soon as somebody do something. You're insecure. These are things he want to teach you during your wilderness, during your period of isolation, when he's disciplining you, when he's stripping you from everybody and everything. These are the things that he wants to teach you. So no, it doesn't seem pleasant at the time. It seems painful. And it says later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. I'm telling you, I'm living it, baby. I'm living it. I'm not telling y'all nothing I'm not living. I'm telling you, it doesn't seem pleasant at the time. You might feel like you want to unalive yourself. Not that I be wanting to do, but I do be like, man, I'm about to go back to my own will. I'm about to do this. I just want to do that. But it's like, I can't even, because the loyalty, one thing about it, and us as chosen ones, we really are very loyal. We're very loyal by nature. But the thing is, we loyal to the wrong people. We have toxic loyalty. But we don't be loyal to the one who we're really supposed to be loyal to, which is our creator, which is the one who has given us so much and has so much for us. Be loyal to the one who's loyal to you, who has never left nor forsaken you. So it says, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness. It don't feel good at the time, but later on, you're going to be like, I see why I had to go through that. I see what that did. Look at what that did for me. Look at how, and especially because a lot of times the stuff you go through, it's all meant for your purpose. It's meant for your purpose. A lot of people feel like they don't know what their purpose is in life, and because you don't understand that your hard times, that your seasons of lack, the things that you suppressing, and them skeletons you got hid up in the closet that you don't want to talk about because you shameful, you got this spirit of shame on you and all of that. You don't even understand the reason why you went through that is because that's gonna be your purpose later on in life. You don't even realize that pain is going to turn to purpose later if you allow it to. If you stop being embarrassed and shameful and prideful, let that pride go. You holding your own self up. Pride is a deadly sin. You want to practice humility. Gratitude and humility is the answer for pride. The heavenly virtues. So like I said, we'll be talking about that. So it says, therefore, strengthen your feeble arms and weak knees. Make level paths for your feet so that the lame may not be disabled, but rather healed. Get that strength you need. You're not weak. You're not weak. So don't let the enemy play tricks on you, planting these different seeds of doubt and discouragement in you, making you feel like you're worthless, making you feel like you ain't good for nothing, making you feel like that you can never have these great things that other people have. Like, don't allow that imposter syndrome. Don't allow self-sabotage to hold you up from your harvest that will come at the appointed time. It will come at the appointed time if you do not give up. Let me read that little scripture for y'all. How about that too? What is it? Galatians like 6:9 or something like that. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. You will. It's the law. It's literally the law of the land. It's the law of the Lord. If you don't give up, if you remain strengthened, if you understand the lesson in everything, if you take everything as a lesson, you are going to be fruitful. You are going to be wise. You will be blessed in everything. You can't give up. You're going to have your times where you feel weak. But you go to God, you pray to God to strengthen you, to show you why you're going through this, to help you through it. Because it's only to teach you something. It's only to turn that pain into purpose, purpose into profit. That's what it's to do. So, and then like I said, so make level paths for your feet so that the lame may not be disabled, but rather healed. It's to heal you. A lot of us need healing because you're jaded, you're broken from things of the past, from betrayal trauma and all types of trauma that we have endured. It's to heal you. It's to really transcend you to the highest point that God has called you here to be. to take you to get your position on your throne that he's already ordained for you as his children. But we're here to be princes and princesses. We're God's babies. We're here to inherit everything that he has stored up for us, as a father does. Because a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children's children. We are his children. There is an inheritance for us. There is blessings for us. There is healing for us. There are brighter days ahead for us. But if you give up, if you don't accept the discipline from God, and you don't understand why he's making you go through certain things, bless you, and you don't understand it, you won't get the peace that surpasses all understanding that God wants to give you. You won't understand it. Okay? So I'm going to leave this video here, y'all. I think I done said enough. I hope y'all really understand this and, really plan it in your head. Understand what you're going, understand that life ain't easy. It's never going to be. But with God, it can be more smooth for you, especially when you learn to surrender to his will and let him lead your life and stop trying to be a control freak. Stop trying to think you can control everything and you can prevent everything and you can make all this happen. If you just work harder, if you just do this, that's why you end up having so much resentment. That's why you would end up having so much resentment, is because you think that you can just do it all. Only God can. He's the omnipotent. He's the omniscient. He's the all-knowing and all-powerful. Only he can do all those things. He can pour bits of him onto you to get you through. But he's never going to give you everything, because if he give you all that power, all that, then you ain't going to need him. And what do we say? For his name is jealous. He's a jealous God. He don't ever want you thinking you don't need him, man or woman. You're his son, and we're his sons and daughters. None of us can escape. He got his right hand on all of our necks, yoking us to get where he wants us to be. He wants us to stay on our straight and narrow path, our path of righteousness. He leads us down the path of righteousness for his name's sake. So yea, though we walk through the valleys of the shadow of death, fear no evil, because the Lord your God is with you. He is with you. He will comfort you. Okay? So that's it for this video, y'all. I'll see y'all in this video. I'll see y'all in the next video. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. And like I said, I hope y'all really got something out of this and understand it. Y'all need to go read Psalm 23. Go read it. Y'all need to be reading the book of Psalms. Because read Psalms. Y'all need to be reading some Psalms every day. Not just the same old ones that these folk like to say read all the time. Those are good too, but there's many Psalms that are really good. Ask God to lead your path, lead you. He wants to lead you, but he needs you to surrender and trust him. Without faith, it's impossible to please him. It's impossible to please him. So believe in him. Believe in his plans that he has for you. That's what faith is. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of the things not seen. You don't have to see it to believe it. Because a lot of times God will do things that nobody has ever seen before. Because that's what he likes to do. He likes to just pop out and just do stuff. He likes to just do stuff at the last minute. He likes to I just had a conversation with him about this. Because I said, I'm like, you always want to do something at the last minute. Like, you always want to play. Like, it's not funny. But it do be funny once it happens. And he like, I told you. Ye of little faith. So he be so funny. God is so funny. That's the only way I can describe him. He's funny. So trust him and you're going to be good. Okay? So may God bless y'all. See y'all in the next video.